All right, we are on the way to Cleator, which is our next ghost town for the day. And I saw some old mining ruins over here, and this is the closest I could get to them. This is a challenging flight. There's power lines. I have to stay on the other side of the power lines. You can't even see the ruins at all until I get all the way down here and then fly back. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how this turns out. So we're going to start the motors and fly. We're flying the Evo, as you can clearly see, I suppose. Whew, here we go. Okay, everybody, I had to kind of do a voiceover type situation for this video because the wind was pretty strong, and I had a cattail, cat whiskers, you know, one of them things over my microphone, and it just didn't cut out all of the wind. I still have a lot of wind. I tried to cut it out, do some noise reduction and whatnot. A lot of times that does work, but on this particular time it did not work. So that's what we're left with right now. But as we fly over, you'll notice straight ahead is where the mine was, or at least the mine tailings were. So this is a mine from late 1800s, 1870s, somewhere around that area. It is just outside of the ghost town of Cleator. And as we approach, staying above these power lines, you'll notice off to the left a foundation, maybe a mill, probably a mill, with the tailings right here. I'm guessing that is the foundation from the mill. Water tank, old rusty water tank right there. And let's go ahead and rotate left. Go ahead and rotate to the left and see if we can get a view of the other side of this tailing mound of tailings here. And notice this is just like right off of the river. And rotating this way gives us a better shot of what's left of that foundation, which I do believe would be the mill. This is probably where the tailings were dumped. It's probably not where the mine actually was. I do not know a lot about, mining from the 1800s and whatnot, or even current mining operations. I don't really understand how it works, really. But I do know that you dig and you get dirt out. See, that is the dirt out, so to speak. But that's what's left. It's kind of cool, different colorations. It's a windy, gloomy day, so the lighting is not the best, but we're doing the best we can with it. And as we rotate around to the other side, that's basically what it looks like. If you notice off to the right, there is another foundation, another what looks to be a building. Could be a house, could be the mining offices, could be, I don't know, but it's got a chimney. And we'll come around the backside here, and then we will head towards the other foundation, the other building there, so we can get a good look at that. But I saw all this as I was driving down the road on my way to Cleator, and thought it was definitely worth, stopping and checking out. Directly down below right there is what I believe to be the mill tailings. Okay, so let's slowly start rotating to the right and see what we see here. That does look kind of like a house. I mean, I'm not sure it's a stone wall house or something. It's kind of what it looks like. I mean, I'm not sure. I want to bring my ATV back for sure, so I can get, I can ride right up to this and, get some video of the inside of this as well one day. But this was a long drive for me, so the likelihood of me coming back anytime soon is probably slim. But definitely one day in the future, we'll save this footage and come back and We'll see if we can't get some close-up footage from the ground. Look at that foundation to the left. That's pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. And there's ruins like this, old mining ruins around this area, pretty much all over the place. I mean, you can't hardly drive a mile without seeing another one. As you can see, there's more, what looks to be more foundations to the right of that, what I think is a house or something, some sort of building. And notice right above that foundation, if you look up on the next ridge, looks like there's a bunch of more foundations there. So this looks like this was a pretty substantial mining operation right here. It definitely looks like, you know, there was definitely a lot going on here, and I could definitely probably stop saying definitely. I could probably do that. Look at the car in the background driving down the road. That's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and go a little farther forward and see what we've got down here a little further. But those are pretty interesting foundations for sure. And this is the main road that goes to Crown King right here. The one to the right, the one to the left is the trail that we just followed out. But as you can see, this does look like it would be one heck of a good ATV trail. Also a good hiking trail. Apparently it was, because the other car that was parked there, those people were missing. We never saw those people at all the entire time that we were parked on the side of the road right here. And walking up the trail, which you can't tell how steep that is, it's actually pretty steep right there. That is Dale. That's Dale walking right there. And I figured let's just go up this road just a little bit, staying above the power line still. And look right there. Oh man, I didn't say it quick enough, but right there, if you play this back, on the right-hand side was a car that fell off the side of the mountain right there, and they just left it. You know, probably those people didn't make it. And strewn all throughout this road, all the way up to Crown King, are, you know, several people who went off the road in the middle of the night, I'm guessing, drunk. Who knows? I don't know what the deal is. And let's just follow this trail, low altitude, and just kind of follow it out all the way to the river. And see if we can get a look at, maybe we missed something or something of that nature. And it's pretty windy. I'm really surprised at how well the Evo is doing in this wind. Normally, the Evo does struggle in the wind, which I've mentioned before, and got a lot of down votes on my video just because I mentioned that the Evo is weak in the wind, and it is. That's the truth. That's just the truth. But once you know how to deal with it, you know, it's something you can work around. It's not ideal because you got to dig through some menus, but it is for sure, you know, weaker than other drones that I've flown in windy conditions. So look at all these different colors right here. Normally these trees are not these, this color. Normally they're just green, and that's it. Now we got some yellows, some greens, and it looks pretty cool. Following the river around, and I'll follow it to this rock wall. You see that rock wall in front of me? Let's see if I can get down a little bit, get up to that wall, and kind of do a kind of a reveal shot right here, and we'll see how that works out. Give it a shot here. All right, rotate the gimbal down, get the shot lined up. This is kind of how you do this. Rotate gimbal down. Now we're going to drop altitude, right? Drop altitude. And then as we get in close, rotate gimbal up for a nice reveal of the valley right there. Yeah, that's a pretty nice little shot. I could have probably got a little lower, but I am pretty far away from this location, so I didn't want to lose signal or anything. So if I were closer, I would have definitely, squatted down a little bit further. But that's about it. I just saw this off the side of the road. I thought it was interesting. I hope you guys found it interesting. It's just old mining days. I'm interested in old Western history, old Western mining, the beginning of, Arizona right before its statehood, that kind of thing. And this is definitely where there were a large population of people in the beginning of when Arizona first started in the late 1800s. And this area here is called the Bradshaw Mountains. And there's a lot of mining history, a lot of Old West history in this area. If you go back and you watch some of my other videos that I've posted in the past, I've done videos on Crown King, this area. I've done Bradshaw City. I've done the Bradshaw Cemetery. I actually found that. Not a lot of people know where that's at. I've done a lot of videos in this area. If you're interested, definitely look at some of the others that I have done. But now let's just kind of point this thing back to which we came. Following this trail back, we'll get a little close to this mountain right here. A little closer than we'd probably like to be to this mountain. I don't know what I was doing right here. But let's see if we can turn a little bit to the... Nope, I guess we're not going to turn. I guess we're not listening to me. This isn't in real time, so we're just not going to pay attention to anything I'm saying. I'm flying a little bit close to the ground. A little bit closer than I'd like to be flying to the ground. And this right here is going to be the closest that we're going to be flying to the ground right here in the whole trip. And coming up, we'll go ahead and land this thing, pack it back up. And the next ghost town that we're going to is the town of Cleator. And we will actually film what's left of Cleator. And what's interesting about Cleator is there's still people that live there. There is still a bar that's open on the weekends that people stop into and have some drinks in a bar from the 1800s. I mean, there's not a lot of places where you can do that kind of thing. And I'm going to show you where that's at, coming right up next.